Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel and welcome to tonight's video, another video that I'm filming at night. And tonight's video is going to be a very chatty Q&A with a little bit of tipsiness thrown in because I'm already like a glass of wine deep. But I asked you guys over on Instagram and on the YouTube community tab to ask me some questions. I've gotten a bunch of new subscribers in basically the past few weeks, so I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who are subscribing to me and sticking around for the journey that is my life. But with so many new people, I'm sure that there are questions that they have, and so I got questions from new people and old people. But nonetheless, tonight I'm just filming a very chatty, relaxed Q&A. I am going to try and keep this as short as possible. I do have quite a few questions, but I want to try and keep it short, even though the tipsiness definitely adds to the rambliness. But we're going to try and keep this around like 20-ish minutes. So grab a glass of wine or a snack, get your chores done, just hang out with me. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this little Q&A, and without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the questions that I got on the YouTube community tab. I have my computer over here so that I can pull those questions up for you guys. So the first question that I have here is, how many siblings do you have? So I actually have an older sister who is 2 years older than me, and then I have a younger brother who is 18 now, which is so crazy. For all of you guys out there who have younger siblings, do you have like a picture of what your younger sibling is in your mind? Like in my mind, my little brother is 8 years old. He is perpetually 8 years old. And when I think of him, when any of my friends reference him, I think of like the 8-year-old version of who he is. So it actually blows my mind that he is 18 now and off at school. He goes to school in Orlando. If you don't know, my family actually, all my immediate family, like my mom, my stepmom, my sister and brother, all live down in Florida. So I have not seen them in quite some time because of the whole coronavirus thing. So yeah, 2 siblings, an older sister and a younger brother, which makes me the middle child. The next question that I have is, what advice would you give a first-time expectant mom on body image and self-love during pregnancy and postpartum? And it's really hard because it's situational, it's different for every single person. And for me, I actually felt my best when I was pregnant. Even now, I've never felt more confident than I did when I was pregnant. So I think that was just, the case for me. Some people don't feel very comfortable in their pregnant bodies, but for me, even though I was absolutely gigantic towards the end, I've never felt more confident than I did when I was pregnant. So I think it, again, depends on the person, but I would always just remind yourself what your body is doing. It is an amazing thing to be able to carry a child or multiple children, which was my case, in one go. So you just need to remind yourself of what your body is doing. It is creating a new life, which is so beautiful in and of itself. So you should just see the beauty in that and see the beauty in yourself. Also, don't be so hard on yourself after you give birth if your body is not where you want it to be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months postpartum, because it took 9 months to grow that baby inside of you. So it could take 9+ months for your body to get anywhere near where it was pre-pregnancy. And even then, your body is never going to be 100% the same than before you got pregnant. You grew a human being. So just remember what your body did. Remember that what your body did was beautiful, and try and be as confident and comfortable in your own skin as you can be. And then other people will appreciate you and see you as the beautiful self that you see yourself. So yeah, it's definitely not always that case. Like some days I definitely do feel not the best about myself, and other days I feel really good about myself. So it is a day-by-day thing, case-by-case thing, but my biggest advice would just be remind yourself of what your body is doing or is just done. That is the most amazing thing. Okay, the next question I have is, are you in any student debt right now, and any ideas on how you're going to pay it off? So yes, I'm in student debt right now. I am in my 5th year of school technically. I'm taking an extra semester. And so with that, I did, of course, have to take out student loans, but I also do have financial aid, which you do have to pay back some of the financial aid. So I am in student debt right now. I don't know how much, to be completely honest. I haven't even looked, excuse me, and I probably won't look until after I graduate because it's just something I'm not worrying about right now. And as far as paying it off goes, thankfully I do make some money off of YouTube, and I definitely make enough to be able to pay like the minimum amount every month for my loans. So I know that that's taken care of. But if that was not the case, I probably would defer them till after I get my master's degree and then just worry about it all at once after that, which I don't know if that's the best idea or plan ever. And who knows, Biden's talking about or has talked about, or it's going around that he might try and resolve some student debt. So I'm not worrying about it now. I am in debt, and either through YouTube or other means, I will figure it out and pay it off in due time. Okay, next question. How do you keep the boys apart? I think she meant tell your boys apart. And have you, your partner, or your family confused them? Which, yes, we have confused them. And more so in the last few weeks, I've been confusing the boys so much, and I don't know why. I thought my phone stopped recording, so I like picked it up and moved it. So if things look a little different, I actually don't think I'm like in the middle. If things look different, I'm sorry, I thought it stopped recording. But like I was saying, more so recently, I've been confusing the boys so much, and I don't really know why. I feel like in the beginning, family and friends got them mixed up a lot because all newborns kind of look the same. And I was able to really tell them apart then. And of course, I'm the person who dresses them every day, so I know who's in what. But when I do dress them the same, I do find myself mixing them up a lot now. Family and friends still have a hard time telling them apart. They always like ask when they pick them up, like, is this Ben? Is this Jack? And then of course I have to tell them yes. And Harris, he does mix them up sometimes, less often than like our family and friends do. But for some reason, I've been mixing them up so much. Today we went to their little gym class and someone asked like who I was holding, and I was like, oh, I'm holding Ben. And then I had to look at him and I was like, no, I'm holding Jack. So yeah, recently, I think maybe it's just because their hair is kind of looking really similar lately, and Jack seems to be filling out a little bit more. Ben has always had a rounder face, and so I think that's what has helped me tell them apart. But Jack is rounding out a little bit, so I do kind of mix them up. And from the back, they look so similar, which wasn't the case for a long time because Jack's head is more flat than Ben's head. And so I've always just like looked at the back of their head and have been able to tell who's who. But recently the backs of their heads have been looking so similar that if I'm not paying attention and I pick someone up from behind and they're wearing the same thing, I mix them up. As far as how we tell them apart, like I mentioned, Ben's face is more round, Jack's chin is more like heart-shaped, Ben's is more round when he smiles. Jack is a little lankier than Ben. He definitely is filled out more in some places. Jack has a flatter head. Ben, you can see his teeth more than Jack because his started growing in more, so when they smile you can tell, and they do have different smiles. But for the most part, they look very similar. And I do kind of want to get them tested to see if they are identical because they do share the same blood type. And I know that there is a chance that they are identical. And because I'm having trouble telling them apart recently, I feel like they might be. Next question. This person said, I'm pregnant with twins and due in February. Currently, I'm still shopping for them. Can you share what are some must-haves for twins and share what kind of car seat and stroller you have? So the car seat that I have is the Uppababy Mesa, which I chose that one because it's a pretty lightweight car seat. So I do recommend it. I have not had any problems with it. Read your manual because there's a lot that I learned about the car seat way after the fact, which is horrible on my part. I should have read the manual, but with everything going on and moving and all that around the time that we were setting car seats up, I didn't read the manual. So read your manual. But I highly recommend the Uppababy Mesa, no problems with it. And then I have the Uppababy Vista Stroller, which you can buy extra pieces and attachment pieces to make it a double stroller, which is obviously what I did. Highly recommend it. It's super lightweight, super easy to unfold and fold up. The car seat attachments are super easy to click both car seats in, and I felt like the boys had enough room that they weren't super crammed. And then also when you put the regular seats on, which Uppababy calls rumble seats, those, it's a little tight for the baby on the bottom. I always felt bad for the baby on the bottom, and I would switch them back and forth because it is a double-decker stroller. It's not like a side-by-side. I always felt bad for the baby on the bottom, and so whenever we take the stroller out, I do switch back and forth between who's on the top and who's on the bottom. So yeah, I do have Uppababy products. I am getting a side-by-side stroller for Hanukkah this year. Harris's mom is getting it for me. I don't know what it's called, and I don't know, like, I've seen it, so I know I like it, but I haven't like obviously used it or anything like that. So once I get that in a future vlog, I will talk about it and recommend it if I do. But I do recommend the Uppababy Mesa car seat and the Uppababy Vista stroller. As far as other products that are a must for twins, the Twinsy nursing pillow that the boys use to feed on. They didn't use that to nurse on. I use a different nursing pillow. I will link the nursing pillow I use, the car seat, the stroller, and the Twinsy nursing pillow all down below, because all that stuff I really recommend, especially the nursing pillow used if you're going to breastfeed. I highly recommend a twin nursing pillow, so I'll link that down below. But that's really it for like twin products that I had. Everything else is just like a singleton product that we bought like double. Okay, I need to go to another post now where I have a few more questions. Okay, so this first question says, if I can find it, how do you plan to go ahead in terms of your academics and career aspirations? So I've talked about this a bunch. I do plan on going to get my master's in the future, not immediately, like not right now after I graduate undergrad. I want to take the next year to really think solidly about my plan, because I really don't have one. Like, I know I want to go and get my master's, but I just don't know exactly like for what. So the next year I'm going to take the year off, think long and hard about what I want to go for and make that decision. But as far as career goes, I do want to work obviously in the field of psychology. That's what I'm going to school for. I absolutely love it. I find it so interesting, and I really have enjoyed all the content that I have learned. So it is like an up in the air thing. I know I'm going to go ahead. I know I'm going to get my master's. I know in some form of psychology. I just don't know exactly what. I don't know exactly when. So we will see. I'm like not feeling my hair today. If you can tell, I'm touching it like 100 million times. I haven't washed it in like 3 or 4 days, and it's just looking not the cutest. So excuse the hair touching. I used to be so bad about touching my hair in videos, and I feel like I'm doing it a lot today. So I am sorry. Excuse that. The next question is, what is something you would sacrifice everything for? Which I feel like is kind of obvious. I would literally sacrifice anything for the boys if it meant that they were happy and healthy and lived like fulfilling lives. I would seriously give up anything for those 3 things to be guaranteed that they're happy, they're healthy, and they live fulfilling lives. Okay, so I only have a few questions from Instagram that I'm going to jump in now. I feel like this video's not that long yet, so fingers crossed I didn't just jinx myself. But the next question I have is, will you ever separate the boys into their own rooms, or do you have any plans to? And as of right now, the boys share a room. It's just what works for us, and they will continue to share a room either until A, somebody comes to us and says, I want my own room, and they both agree that they want to be moved into their own spaces, or B, they reach the age of like middle school. I feel like then it is good for them to get their own separate spaces and start to grow into the independent versions of themselves. I feel like sometimes you see twins that become kind of codependent on one another, and I really don't want that for my boys. I want them to be their own independent selves. So either, you know, they can come to us at like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old or whatever and say, I want my own room, and then we'll separate them. Or we can give them the option once they hit like middle school age and say, do you want your own room? I think it's really up to them. I want them to make that own decision independently. And so as of right now, we have no plans on separating the boys for a while. The next question I have is, how do you get everything done between college, being a mother, and other daily tasks? So it really comes down to like a few simple things. I have a great planner. I set realistic to-do lists and goals for myself, which means only assigning like 1 school assignment a day or 2 school assignments a day that I know that are attainable. I really don't want to overload my plate, or don't try to overload my plate, because when that happens, you either get disappointed in yourself that you didn't finish everything, or you get super stressed out that you feel the need to finish everything. And so I set attainable to-do lists. I try and, you know, get everything done in a timely manner. I'm very good with time management, so that's how I'm able to juggle everything that I have to do, whether it be school, chores, things around the house, things for the boys. I really just try and plan ahead, be good with my time management, be organized with my time and organized with what I have to do, and I really try and set attainable to-do lists and goals for each and every day. I also like to plan things out in advance, especially for school. I plan things out in like months so that I am not thrown a curveball. I know what is coming up. I have everything planned out for this month so that if something does come up, I'm able to look at my whole month and see, okay, this is when I'm busiest, this is when I'm not, this is when I have time for this, and then it's easy to squeeze that in there. And so, yeah, I could do honestly a whole video on organizing my time and how I organize my time and how I organize my days and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to see that, please let me know, because I actually feel like that would be a really helpful video, because I would like to say I'm so good at planning and just being organized with my time. Okay, so it's actually all the questions I have. I feel like I was not as rambly as I thought I was going to be, and that this video is not as long as it actually probably should. So that's good, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed this little chatty Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of hanging out with me and getting to learn a little bit more about me. And if you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, head on down there and subscribe. I appreciate that always. And with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.